Hello YouTube, this is Insane Monster, and I am here to bring you What If Deku Was Half Gargoyle Part 5. Now, I do hope you're having a good Easter special that I've been providing you. If you haven't been watching this at Easter, then oh well. And as usual, before this video starts, well, we gotta do the usual, so hit it. Okay then. When we last left off, the cavalry battle was all taken care of and things were being set up for the final portion of the sports festival, that being the tournament. With this, they do have a break as they get the arena all set up with Cementos' help. As Izuku is free now, him and Mina, along with Sue, go around and get some stuff to eat. With that, and full stomachs, they're ready to go. Though Izuku had to take care of something, as he made sure to check with his mom to make sure that the event was being recorded for his dad to watch once he wakes up when the sun goes down. As he reassures him that she is and to not worry. After checking, he went off to go get prepared since he would be in the first round, as he bumped into someone. This being someone you may remember from the previous part, aka Macbeth. As Izuku is surprised, Macbeth states, "Good luck in your first bout, young man. Also, I believe you should be wary of that Shinso person. Even if he is in general studies, I have a feeling there's more than meets the eye to him." As he remarks that Ojiro told him some details about him, at least for what he can remember. As Izuku looked at Sue, he remembered that he can't bring Sue into the arena, and asked Macbeth to watch over him. Macbeth was having no issue with it, so he agreed. And with that, Izuku went off to fight Shinso in the first round of the tournament. As Macbeth ends up walking into the part where some of the faculty are with Sue, as he meets All Might, with All Might being surprised that he's here. They start to talk, as we hear Macbeth ask All Might something. If Izuku is actually restraining more of his power than his actual max, as All Might remembered an talk he had with Izuku, which would be where we have a bit of a flashback during Izuku's training using One for All. As it turns out, All Might explained that 80% is the max he can use while being in proper control of his body. Due to the fact that he has the added limbs of the wings as well as the tail, he sometimes he ends up being messed up with his movements, especially if his wings catch too much air while he's trying to go fast without flying. So there is that. And the tail sometimes causes a bit more momentum than he attends to. So a control balance at 100% really isn't viable right now until he gets the proper uh, focus and, well, at least the proper way to use his added limbs into One for All. All Might's not really the one to teach him that, due to the fact that he never had to deal with that either, nor did any of the previous users of One for All. But left out the whole One for All thing, just stating that Izuku has trouble controlling his full strength and such with the added limbs. So yeah, as the bout begins, we see Shinso remarking about how Izuku is lucky to have his quirk, so flashy and powerful, as Izuku walks towards him. And Izuku then hears Shinso say something that really got him mad, as he states, "Oh, and honestly, that weird, ugly dog thing, not to mention, why would you be hanging around someone that pink and with those horns? Doesn't she have a quirk called acid? Isn't that a horrendous quirk?" As he gets angry, yelling at him to be quiet, which is when he's ensnared by Shinso's quirk. Shinso remarks, "Apologies, I just needed something to really get at you in order for this to work." As he ordered Izuku to walk out of bounds. As he does so and begins to walk, Aizawa begins to explain what Shinso's quirk is. As Macbeth smirks, stating, "Huh, figured that. Honestly, the mere fact that you limit your exam to it being a purely physical power based test is quite laughable. Honestly, it's quite clear he wouldn't be able to get by with his quirk against those robots." With this, as Izuku's about to walk out, it happens. As he sees a vision of the past users of One for All flash before his eyes, and snaps out of Shinso's quirk. With Shinso being confused, he starts yelling, asking what did he do? How did he break free from his quirk? With Izuku remaining quiet this time. As he charged up and blitzed straight towards Shinso, he grabbed him, going all the way to the other edge of the ring, tossing him out, making it nice and quick. After that, as Shinso was walking away from midnight, announcing that Midoriya was the winner, his classmates pointed out that the heroes were remarking how good he is and how good of a hero he could be. With that, the next round, as well as the others, go similar to as in canon, though they do show more combat proficiency due to their training with the gargoyles. And after Momo loses her first round battle and walks off with a defeated look, Macbeth ends up leaving for a moment, leaving Sue with All Might, as Sue ends up licking All Might, being all affectionate like like how the basic gargoyle dog thing works. But as he finds Momo before she returns to her class, he offers her something very special. As he states, even if you can make all the kinds of weapons you want, in my opinion, they're pretty much worthless unless you know how to properly use them." As Momo looks more sad, Macbeth just sighs, stating, "I guess I had no choice. I'll have to give you some proper teaching and how to use those weapons. As she looks at him, smiling, bowing, thanking him for offering to teach her weapon combat. Since, yeah, simply swinging a stick around or a sword around won't do much against someone who can actually use techniques in fights. Or with someone with a more proficiency with fighting with their quirk. Since Momo's only really done throughout her life is study to make her quirk as powerful as it is, rather than physically training. As we get to the next round where Soto and Izuku are going head to head. As Izuku walks over to the arena, he runs into Endeavor, who, like in canon, tells Izuku to make his son use his fire. As Izuku clenches his fist, he doesn't like how Endeavor is ordering him around, especially talking about his own son this way. As he passes Endeavor just not looking at him, he tells him a father should protect his son and do what is best for him. He shouldn't try to use his son as a tool to, so that he can achieve what the father couldn't. As Endeavor was enraged by this, when he tried to punch Izuku, Izuku used his tail to wrap Endeavor's leg and trip him, causing him to fall on his back, then getting out of there to hurry over to the arena. With Endeavor angry, he then storms off back into the stadium to watch the fight. As Todoroki ends up walking through the building as well, he is then met by Macbeth, with Todoroki not really liking the fact that he's being confronted by Macbeth again. He just keeps walking, as Macbeth states, "You know, you're basically insulting everyone who's trying their best by only using half your power." As he just walks off stating, "I won't use his power." As Macbeth sighs once Todoroki is out of sight, remarking, "That boy is truly stubborn, but maybe the young man Izuku might be able to push him into the right direction." As the fight begins between them, as they match up, Izuku gets ready, as Todoroki fires off his ice, with Izuku powering up one for all to smash, destroying the ice. As this goes on more and more, Todoroki begins to basically freeze over, as Izuku sees his chance going at Todoroki. When he tries to make his ice again, Izuku is able to dodge it easily, then uses his tail to hit Todoroki in the stomach, sending him back a bit, as he's holding back, with Todoroki stating, "Go full power, damn it." As he continues, "I can't prove that I don't need his quirk unless you go full strength." As Izuku's had enough and stated, "Why should I? You're not giving it your all, so why should I? All I need to do is keep breaking your ice and getting close. And that's it. I don't even need full strength to beat you when you're only using half your quirk." As Todoroki asks, "Did Endeavor tell you to push me to use my flames?" Izuku stated, "He confronted me about it, but I basically told him to shove it. But the mere fact that you're just using half your quirk pretty much says that you're looking down on everyone. Honestly, he doesn't decide how you use your power. It's yours, so you choose. As he remembers his past, he then begins to develop his fire around him as he defrosts the ice covering his right side. As they begin for an all-out attack, Izuku remarks, "Finally!" With Todoroki sending a giant wall of ice, we see Izuku use One for All to jump up, opening his wings and flying over it, getting ready for another attack. As Todoroki uses his flames. With this, Izuku uses 100% and smashes with, obviously, Cementos trying to block them, only for the walls he made to be destroyed and then both sent back. While, unlike in canon, Izuku is able to use his wings to use the force of the explosion to blow him upwards, while Todoroki is exhausted and out of breath from the impact that he had to use his ice in order to keep him from going out. But he's very close. As they look for Izuku as the dust settles, they then see him up in the air going straight down as he goes for another smash directly at the ground, with the wind force hitting it. The wind then dispersed outward, causing a final shockwave to blast Todoroki out of the ring. After that, Todoroki was announced to be out of bounds, and the second round of matches went the same as in canon. As we continued over to the next round, where Izuku is now facing Ida, and it goes pretty simply. While Ida uses his reciprocal burst to try to drag Izuku out, Izuku used his tail to grab onto Ida's leg, swing him around, and toss him clean out of the ring. This being as he lands on his feet, barely keeping himself from being dragged. He still hasn't gotten quite used to high-speed movement yet, so seeing somebody moving at incredible speeds is still a little difficult for him. As the semifinals continue. Next, the finals, where Bakugo is now against Izuku. With midnight sending off for them to begin, we see Izuku and Bakugo going at each other, with Bakugo using a full power explosion that would obviously strain his arms right from the beginning as a way to quite more or less chip away at Izuku's strength. This being blocked by Izuku's wings infused with One for All for stronger physical defense. With that, he opens his wings, still infused with One for All, and flaps them towards Bakugo, sending him back. As he uses his explosions to fly up into the air, he then goes and begins to use one of his special moves, the Howitzer Impact. As he's about to hit Izuku, Izuku is wound up with a punch for One for All. As he throws it, he aims it a little bit off so that he doesn't directly hit Bakugo. As this happens, the explosion that Bakugo causes with his Howitzer Impact does go off, but the wind force from Izuku's punch sends the explosion back at Bakugo, as well as the wind force coming from his swing, sending Bakugo right slamming into the wall, as he is a bit injured. With Izuku being named the winner, Bakugo is frustrated, but is still not gonna let this stop him. As the award ceremony goes on, apparently Ida's not there, as he's just getting the news about his brother. As the awards are given, multiple people are seeing this on TV all over the world. As we cut away to a dark room where Shigaraki is watching, and we hear the voice of a woman stating, "Huh, very interesting. Seeing what they can do, I now believe I have an understanding of how to train our new members once they fully grown and awakened." As Shigaraki looks at this woman, who appears to be human with red hair, as he smirks, stating, "Oh, really? Is that so, Demona? So you just watch the sports festivals to have more data on how to train you and the little doctor's project?" As he smirks, stating, "More or less, and it gives me some idea on how to adjust their personalities. After all, it's a very delicate process, and I would prefer that they don't fail on us or betray us. So there's plenty of work, not just of the physical material, but of molding their minds. After all, I did find that it would be pretty bad in the past if the programming is kept far too simple. We need them to be able to think on their feet, after all. And with this, I have enough information to make a proper programming for them. Though, I'll still be looking for good candidates to make more. I did get a good amount of that Izuku Midoriya's blood for plenty." As she smirks and walks out. As time goes on, Aizawa meets Class 1A, showing off the results of the sports festival for them to go on their internships, with Izuku getting the top score, Todoroki second, and Bakugo third. With Bakugo being angry at this since Todoroki only got to the second round of the tournament. Though Mineta did state it's probably because of your attitude. You were very violent during that whole thing. With Bakugo yelling at Mineta, stating, "You got something to say, Grapehead?" With Mineta backing off instantly, not wanting to get blown up. As they discuss things, we see that Ida is already thinking about where he's going to go. And as they go to lunch, All Might shows up, stopping Izuku, Sue, Mina, Ochako, and Ida as they were going to lunch, stating that he needed to talk to Izuku. With them giving the okay, he went ahead, as Sue followed. As All Might looks like he's shaking, Izuku is worried, asking what's going on. As he hits his leg trying to get focused, he gives him the note and explains that he's got a request to be an intern in for a hero that actually was his master. Surprised by this, as he smirks, stating, "Alright, what's he like?" All Might states that his name is Gran Torino, and he does know about One for All. Also, he stated he noticed some things like you're holding too much back, as he wants to help you fix that. With him being knowing that he does hold back from using full power, as well as having a hard time controlling the management of the lower percentages of his power, not so that he doesn't overdo it. As All Might gave him the note with the directions to get there. As Izuku did accept, everything was set. And with this, they continue on to the train station where everyone said their farewells before leaving. Though Izuku asked Ida if he was going to be okay, with Ida remarking that he's fine and that there's no need to worry. Though, when he turned around and walked away, there is a very serious and angry look in his eyes. And that's where we'll be ending this part of the What If on. I do hope you liked. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys later.